You're watching ChillyBoy Productions. I'm Larry ChillyBoy Chillson, and this is my review for Lightyear. Now, before we get into this review, make sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button down below so that you can chill with me on each and every one of my latest videos. Lightyear is a 2022 family adventure film from Pixar Studios, giving us the origin story of the famed Buzz Lightyear toy from the Toy Story franchise. Follow the legendary Space Ranger Buzz Lightyear as he embarks on a legendary space adventure alongside his new group of friends. So, of course, as pretty much everyone my age does, I love Toy Story, and the entire franchise really holds a special place in my heart. I've enjoyed all four of the films. I was both excited and a little perplexed and a little bit nervous when it came to Lightyear. Then I saw that trailer. I thought it looked beautiful, but the subsequent trailers didn't quite sell me. So it has been quite the roller coaster when it comes to the release of Lightyear, just in my own personal perspective. Of course, there's controversy about this same sex kiss, all of that hugabaloo, which of course made me just more interested and ready to support the film at the box office. And I'm just going to say it now up front before we get into the actual film's review. Just like with every other Disney property that has had this big hugabaloo about same sex this, same sex that, leading up to release, it's much ado about nothing here in Lightyear yet again. The kiss is a literal blink and you'll miss it moment of the film if you are so offended by seeing two women who love each other peck. Well, you've got bigger fish to fry than a Pixar animated feature, I'll tell you that, because this kiss is next to nothing. The relationship as a whole, I actually think is a positive we'll talk about soon. But really, all of this drama for what? Outside of that, as a film on a larger scale, I think Lightyear is good, though it certainly left me feeling a bit cold for a Pixar film. So let's go ahead and discuss the positives first. I almost don't want to even say this because it's basically a given. We take it for granted at this point. The animation in Lightyear is absolutely stunning. Really, once again, Pixar have outdone themselves with how amazing the film looks, whether it is the attention to detail, the hyper realism of the terrains, or the beautiful scenery from the long shots. This film is a visual feast. It is gorgeous. I also think that the voice cast are all really good. Another drama has been the recasting of Buzz Lightyear himself, going for a younger character here, so maybe that's the point. I'm not really sure, but I do think Chris Evans gives a fantastic vocal performance. He's great as Lightyear and allows to bring a new energy to the character. And I think ultimately that might be why they chose to go with a younger actor that sounds similar enough to what Tim Allen brings to the role, while still making it feel different, making sure we can differentiate in our minds between the toy character and the human character. And Evans does a great job of capturing the spirit of the character, bringing him to life, and selling everything he needed to here. He's great. Keke Palmer is also a lot of fun. And really, our entire voice cast is wonderful. So adored this musical score. Yes, it is kind of a general type of sci-fi, big epic score, but it worked so well. I thought the score elevated so many moments in this film, including the end credits. I was like humming that Zurg theme as I left the theater. How could I go without talking about Socks, who literally steals the show? He is far and away the best character. He's the MVP of this film. He brings the laughs, he brings the energy, he brings the cuteness, he brings everything to this film. He is an utter delight, and I'm so thankful we were introduced to Little Socks. And on a premise basis, I think it works as kind of this weird experiment to make a movie within a movie franchise, really. Pixar certainly sought out to make their own Star Wars type of film. And ultimately, they actually came up with a blend of Star Wars with Interstellar with Ad Astra. It's all of those things kind of mushed into this one Pixar flick. But I could see a kid really liking this film and really enjoying this story and wanting a Buzz Lightyear action figure just as much as they want a Socks plush. Hell, I want a Socks plush. Let's just cut to the chase. But then, what doesn't work so well when it comes to Lightyear? Well, the emotional aspects really didn't hit home for me. And I think that's a major problem. You heard my description of the film. Star Wars meets Interstellar meets Ad Astra. Those last two are quite cerebral. They rely heavily on some sort of emotional connection amongst the insanity of sci-fi and time travel and this long search for someone. And this film leans heavily on those type of aspects as well. However, the reveal isn't great that we get. I don't know that it's handled all that well. Character development that takes place with Buzz through this reveal verges on unearned. They just do so little legwork with Buzz's actual character development through the script. The stance at the end just didn't really take me anywhere because I didn't feel the progression to get there. All of our characters outside of Socks are fine. They have their moments, they're fun enough. But even this main character, voiced by Kiki Palmer, Izzy, is certainly supposed to be kind of the emotional center of this film. Her relationship with Hawthorne, her grandma, and it just doesn't really feel like much. I think maybe because we didn't get to spend much time with them. A lot could have been solved if we had more time at the beginning of the film with her grandmother and seeing Izzy as a kid. But as it is, none of the emotional beats really pay off. The action is fine. The story itself is fine, but it all has a big air of been here, done this several times over at this point, and we've seen it done a lot more effectively. And in that sense, it struggled to keep my interest, particularly through the second and even part of the third act. My mind started to wander. It's not that long of a film, yet I was doing kind of a check my watch of, okay, when are we moving along in this little adventure? And I think it's because it all just felt kind of shallow. The themes are a bit shallow. The messaging is a bit shallow. So outside of the name recognition and the beautiful visuals, Lightyear basically just offers a fun type of light viewing Pixar film. It's certainly not amongst the worst that the studio has offered, but it is far from the best from the studio. Ultimately, if you are a Toy Story fan, I'd say check this out on the big screen. It is absolutely stunning, and that musical score is so freaking good. You're going to want to experience this fully enveloped in a movie theater. Otherwise, if those trailers haven't really hooked you in or made you excited to see the film, I'd say wait for Disney Plus. I do think it's worth checking out. It's good, it's solid. It's certainly not one that's going to stick with me moving forward. But before we sign off, I do think the same sex relationship as a whole was handled better here than we've seen in almost any of the other Disney gay moments we've gotten to this point. The relationship plays an important part to the whole story overall, while the kiss is quite insignificant in this grand scheme of things. I do think the relationship was a nice touch, and as small of a part it played in screen time or development, we literally get no time with the wife. It was really our only romantic relationship on screen. So that was my review for Lightyear. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click that like button down below and subscribe to the channel so that you are always up to date on all of my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. What did you think of Lightyear? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.